Hey folks, what if you could bypass your old limitations? What if you could maximize more of your potential in an instant? Well, let me share a distinction with you, an awareness that I have and has been deepened and deepened even more lately. Yesterday when I was doing yoga, there's a spinal twist that I do, rather advanced spinal twist. And on one side I can twist right the way around, and on the other side, in the past I'd only been able to twist maybe 30% less than on the previous side. And even after many years, you would think that I'd be able to at least equalize it on both sides. But I hadn't been able to. So it just kind of got to a point yesterday when I was doing it that I had this awareness of, hold on a minute, surely I should be able to get past this limitation by now with the amount of times I've actually sat in this position and try to push this posture further and further and further. And so then I asked the question, once I realized that this isn't quite right, there must be something more, another level I can move to somehow. So I asked the question, I said, what if it has nothing to do with the flexibility of my muscles, joints, tendons, ligaments? What if it's got nothing to do that? Why that's limiting me in this posture? What if the only reason that I've got a limit in this posture is because of a mental and emotional block? And what if, as soon as I realize this, I'll be able to suddenly bypass, transcend that limitation? And as soon as I asked those series of questions, suddenly I pushed past the posture and I pushed past that previous limitation. When about 10% past it, it's like, whoa, 10% past it. It's like, what if I could just keep going? Another 10%. What if I could equalize both sides? Kept on going, another 10%, where I'd completely equalized it. So for many years, I was at that sticking point, and then suddenly I asked that empowering question. What if it has nothing to do with the flexibility of my muscles, joints, tendons, and ligaments? What if it's got nothing to do with my suppleness? What if it's just a mental and emotional block? And once I realize that, I can break through it just like that. And that's what happened. As soon as I said that, I broke through it just like that. And we can do that for anything. Anything in our life, any limitation, any perceived limitation that we have. Because all that happened was I changed my perception. I changed my perception of what was possible. And the old limitation, I questioned that limitation. And when I questioned that limitation, suddenly the limitation dissolved. Because the limitation was actually an illusion. And while I was in the posture, it felt slightly uncomfortable, slightly constricted, even slightly panicky. As yes, it was a mental and emotional block. And I'd gone to somewhere I'd never been before. I'd stepped into the unknown. And when I'd done that, my body was like, am I okay? Do I need to panic here? And so my breathing started to become not as relaxed. And then I stayed present with it and observed what the body was doing, observed the breathing. And as I did that, then my breathing became more relaxed, my muscles relaxed, and I became relaxed in the posture. And I'd broken through a whole new limitation. And as well, released some negative emotion that had been stopping me. Some negative limitation that had been stopping me, that was suddenly released from my body. I could feel it go, and this new sense of centeredness and peace come over myself once I let that dense blocked negativity go. Because quite often when we have a dis-ease or an ailment or a pain in the body, it's really just a blocked emotion. Either something from the past, a resentment, a feeling of sadness, hurt, fear, pain or guilt of some sort that we've basically ingested and held there. We haven't let go of it, we haven't released it, we've held on to it. And then that turns up in the joints, in the muscles, in the organs, and creates problems. So that's one of the reasons why yoga can be very, very healing. But the point of the video and the awareness is the questioning, having the awareness, and whatever it is, maybe you're a marathon runner and you've never been able to break a 3-hour marathon. you can ask the question. You say, what if, be slightly realistic, Maybe it's like, maybe you've never ran a 3-hour marathon. You don't want to say, what if the reason I can't break a 2-hour marathon? But, take it in the next step of what you can really believe the next step. So basically, what if the reason I've never broken the 3-hour marathon, what if that's got nothing to do with, and I know this sounds a little bit sort of like matrixy, but it's true. What if it works? What's true is what works, by the way. What if it's got nothing to do with the aerobic capacity of my body? What if it's got nothing to do with the strength of my muscles? What if it's got nothing to do with my lung capacity? That I haven't been able to break the 3-hour marathon. What if it's got nothing to do with that? What if it's just been a mental and emotional block, a disempowering belief in the brain? And once I realize that right now, I'll be able to do it. And again, we can use this for anything. It doesn't have to be sports, but yeah, that's something that's very measurable, or some sort of fitness or training goal. You can do it especially for things that can be very emotional, like doing acrobatics, backflips and things. Things that we can have mental blocks for, things like that. But you can also do it for anything in your life. You can do it for your financial situation. You can do it for your relationships. What if the reason that I'm having an argument with this person, what if the reason isn't actually to with them doing something wrong? What if it's maybe just, and do you know where I'm getting now? Asking that sort of thing. What if? It opens up, when we ask that question, what it does is it opens us to new possibilities, and it opens us to the universe, so then universal truth can then come in. We open ourselves up and we allow the light to shine, and then we can surpass old limitations, reach more of our potential, and live an amazing life. Okay, so I hope that made sense, some sense anyway, and don't just take my word for it. Give it a go, see how it works, let me know. My name is Matthew Armstrong. Keep tuned in.